I am on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. Connect with me on Patreon and we will grow, and I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Aries Ascendant. For Aries, Mercury transited Taurus is the second house Mercury, but obviously this is going to be a combust Mercury, a Mercury that is combined with so much of energy. This is actually good for you because this gives you a new insight into your career, your finances. If some money was stuck somewhere, the potential that money may come out is very high. This will be actually a time where you will be involved with your brothers, your siblings, and your cousins. Just ensure that you're not lending money. Don't involve into two people having problems with money or money related matters unless you are supposed to. This is the time when you will try to break that barrier. Your business will go break even and you will see profits. But Mercury transiting in Taurus has to be seen with Venus and Sun transiting in Taurus and Jupiter transiting in Taurus. Those effects will dominate over Mercury effect. So watch those videos. But focusing only on the Budh, especially if you're running a Budh Mahadasha or Antardasha, you need to focus on not creating debts, but through your employees, you will be able to generate revenue. So if you are somehow stuck in the bandwidth, if there's a bandwidth crunch, maybe it's the time to delegate the task. For Taurus Ascendant, this is about Mercury coming on your Lagna, your fifth lord coming on the Lagna, your second lord coming on the Lagna shows that you are doing things for yourself. Maybe you're successful, maybe you're not, that's a different thing. But an attempt is being made, which is good. You are also focusing on childbirth and child's future. Maybe that is creating worry, and you are more worried about the financial resources. Don't worry. Jupiter is there to help you. Just wait for some time, wait for Mercury to come out of combustion, and things will be much better very soon. Sooner, after 15 days, Budh will move in your second house, which is a better position of Budh because Mercury will be in the Gemini zodiac sign. Just make sure that you're not behaving maturely. You're focusing on your communication skills. You're focusing on your body language because your body language will speak a lot during this time, and try to correct your posture and focus on herbal medicines. Gemini. For Gemini, Budh transiting in the Vrishabha Rashi, Taurus, will be Mercury in the 12th house. This is your ascendant and fourth lord going in the 12th house. So there may be a need of buying a house, moving to a different country, traveling, relocating, renovating. You know, Mercury is something that keeps on moving, but this motion is not visible. So expenses will also be not visible. Your health going down will also be not visible. You are thinking too much in the night and you are not understanding that. You are giving up sleep to pursue a task. You are not understanding how it can impact your health. So on a very day-to-day level, this Budh may create certain small problems, but it won't stop the ball rolling, but it can create friction. This friction can be financial in nature because of unavoidable expenses, or maybe an electronic gadget breaking down, making the communication impossible. This might also mean that you might lose contact with a friend, and you may want to communicate, but now you can't. You may lose clients also because of your bad way of communication. So be very polite, especially on the social media space. Cancer Ascendant. For Cancer Ascendant, this Budh will be in the 11th house. Now combine it with Jupiter, Venus, Sun. This combination of energy shows that you will stand to gain a lot of things. You will be focusing more on your efficiency and productivity, which is very good. And you will convert your losses into gains silently. That means some events will happen now, which will only show its result once Mercury comes on your first house, once Jupiter flourishes, once Mars comes in the positive. So this is more about giving yourself 15-day time and doing things what is right, which means someone whom you did not expect to help you or give you an advice, help may come from that area. Leo. For Leo ascendant, this will be Mercury transit in the 10th house. Now combine all the planets. Mercury transiting in the 10th house is good for your career. Buddh is very important, 11th and 2nd lord, which shows that you are trying to put your money, your effort in building a reputation. Maybe you're trying to prove your family. Maybe you have joined a family business and you are trying to show what you can do. Or maybe you're trying to save a business if you are an elderly person. Anything that happens, Mercury is there to heal you. But you have to remember that you have to take the harder route. You have to take every parameter into concern. And if you are handling a legal issue, check the clauses. If you are going to sign a contract, check the hidden clauses. For everything, check what is hidden. Information will be hidden, and that hidden information can break or make the situation and scenario. So if you look for that, if you look a bit deeper, better clarity will come. Virgo. For Virgo ascendant, Buddh will be in the 9th house. This 9th house Mercury, now combined with all the positive energy, a lot of cluster of positive planets coming in the 9th house is actually very good for you. In spite of Buddh being combust, if I see solely from the Mercurian angle, your ascendant, by the way, is ruled by Mercury. It shows career growth, a silent career growth. Your steps taken now will be productive later on. You will see support from the family members. You will see silent support, which you may not recognize now, but is very invaluable. Small things matter. You know, it is said that if you want to sew the cloth, you need a needle, not a weapon, not a sword. So you have to value every small thing, small help that come your way. That is your dharma. Libra. For Libra, Mercury will be in the 8th house, so you need to know the intricate details of small things. Go into a lot of data analysis. You may be overwhelmed by it, but to a certain extent, you will have to put your mind and heart into that. So it's a Vipreet Rajyog for you. And when we say Vipreet Rajyog, that means certainly something is going against you. You are calculating it. You are trying to work towards it. Your 11th Lord is also there. That means somebody is supporting it. And in all that, you will come out as victorious, provided you are humble and you are thinking far, and you're thinking and by extrapolating the circumstance. You're not assuming anything. But yeah, Mercury here will be subdued by the presence of a lot of planets. But when Mercury goes in Gemini, then there will be a little relief. Your 9th Lord coming back to the 9th house. In spite of it being combust, still Gemini Mercury will give you a lot of positive results. At this point, speculative business, share market, be very careful if you're dealing with all these things. If you're giving money to someone, if you're investing in someone's business, you should know everything about that business. Now for Scorpio, this is more about Mercury transit in your 7th house. Now Sun is present, Jupiter is present, Venus is present, and now Mercury comes into the scene. When Buddha comes into the scene, your expectation might transform. You might become somebody who you are not. You might start copying someone. Maybe your life partner wants things to be in a certain way and you start finding your happiness in that direction, which will internally frustrate you. Now, to a certain extent, everybody has to change. But if it is happening beyond a threshold, and threshold varies person to person, you may experience a very negative resistance because of the 8th Lord being in the 7th house, which can create bad communication, suppressed emotions, which can later on create problems, in the marriage. So, if you have to speak something, speak in the right manner. And if you don't find any avenue to talk or speak, write it down and create a structure in your mind. How will you pitch it in the future time? And also for new business startup, it's a very good time. This can create better business partnerships. And Mercury in the 7th house is a kind of Buddha which has to work in a kind of a situation where the calculation is done by some other person. You may find your talent is not being utilized or it's underutilized, which can put you into a situation where you would want to change your career or your team, at least your circumstance. All that is possible once Mercury is out of combustion. Sagittarius. Now for Sagittarius, Mercury is very important. It rules your 7th house, it rules your 10th house, and it goes in the 6th house. There is Venus, there is Jupiter, there it is, their sun is placed. What it means is that Budh, which is your career, is being in the 6th house. Focus on your duties, responsibilities. This is kind of supporting the Venus. So you have to go by logic, not by the heart. This means that you will have to be very calculative in nature. This is more healing. This is more transformative. So do a lot of puja, a lot of yagya, a lot of havan. Help someone. Focus your entire energy in humanitarian causes and you will see this Mercury giving you good results. Now this is a very good time for people of Sagittarius Ascendant who want a startup, who are launching new business, who are embarking a new journey. With hurdles will come, that's natural, but you will be able to achieve a lot, especially after Jupiter coming out of combustion. For Capricorn, this is a 5th house Mercury. Now 5th house Mercury, and once Jupiter is out of combustion in the month of, after the first 5-6 days of the month of June, you will be in a position where you are thinking a lot, you want to learn, you want to educate yourself. Now for someone who is educating themselves for their corporate career, will learn because of their emotion. This is what I said in the Venus transit video, that you will feel that you need to learn, otherwise you will lose the job. So the negative emotion is driving the force here. Try to use Mercury and Jupiter power to convince yourself that if you are studying, it means that you will gather knowledge. But don't defend a kind of a situation that may not exist. So if negative emotion is driving, talk to somebody, let yourself know if it is needed, even to think in that direction. But yes, learning is okay. Gathering information is okay. That goes without saying, because 3 information planets, Jupiter, Sun and Jupiter, Venus and Mercury are together in the 5th house. This also means that there will be situation with children that will be resolved in the month of June, and which means that you will be in a much better space. If you are somebody who is trying to go for childbirth, and if there are complications, Mercury will give you right advice and right communication, maybe with a proper doctor, that might give you a way out, a solution. But remember, Mercury is a planet of communication. So talk, communicate. If you keep things within you, then things won't move. Aquarius. For Aquarius, Mercury is your 8th lord and 5th lord. So all the speculative business gains is controlled by Mercury. This both goes in the 4th house. So this can make you feel a little jittery depending upon the situation at home. Definitely Jupiter's and Venus presence will dominate because it's a Venusian house. But you have to understand one thing, that you need to allow the Jupiter to dominate and take over this house. Mercury will give you necessary transformation, necessary emotion. So house related things, property related things, construction related things will change in your life. New company, new partnership, new association, new things, new dimension that keeps you happy, all that will happen. But you may not be happy with your own progress. Maybe you are being restricted, maybe situation at home, maybe situation in your spouse's career is keeping you busy and you want a change in your life. If you really want that change, try to make yourself comfortable in the situation you are in and then take one step ahead. But yes, do think about your career and try to manage both work and personal life. For Pisces, this is more about Mercury going in the 3rd house. 3rd house is the domain of Mars. When Budh goes there, now remember 3rd house is Gemini, ruled by Mercury in the Kal Purush. Mercury wants to explore, and such exploration is hindered by the presence of Surya. Again, I will say the same thing what I said in Venus video. Responsibilities will overshadow even your relationships, your own happiness, and it might happen that your duty calls you and you are seeing your marriage go down, but you have to. What you should do in this case? Have a clear-cut communication. Sit and talk. Don't keep things within yourself. Don't let somebody, don't assume that somebody will understand you. Make yourself understand. Speak what is there in the heart and try to communicate not in the sign and symbols but in clear words. Try to do maximum that you can. Even if it goes without hearing, even if somebody does not understand, still you do. You do your karma and let the universe respond. So if you have a message for the universe, spread the message and do a lot of affirmations. But when you're dealing with financial matters, be very careful. Your hands may be free. You may not know what you're spending. You may not know what you're donating and giving to other people. Control that urge and follow carefully.